Rúben Amorim has arrived in Manchester with a vision to replicate the system that made him a sensation at Sporting. He's got the perfect player for almost every position, except one, his ideal striker. But what if the solution isn't signing someone new? What if the answer lies in transforming the raw potential of Rasmus Hojlund? In this video, we're diving into how Amorim can mould Hojlund into his dream striker. Well, let's get into it. So here we are. Manchester United has hit the reset button again, but this time it's different. Why? Because Rúben Amorim is in town. Yeah, that Amorim, the guy who turned Sporting Lisbon into a machine and made the Portuguese league look like his personal playground. Now he's here to take on the biggest job in football, managing Manchester United. Let's be real though, this isn't just another let's see how it goes appointment. Amorim isn't here to blend in, he's here to dominate. And let me tell you, there's only one way to start your reign at Old Trafford with a bang. A massive fireworks level bang. But here's the catch. To do that, he needs one thing, a killer striker. You know, the kind of forward who can give defenders nightmares, bang in goals for fun, and maybe bring United back to the glory days. It's a big ask. But if there's anyone who can figure it out, it's Amorim. And trust me, this striker search, it's going to be the talk of the town. Now here's the thing about Manchester United, they don't do average strikers. Like, have you ever noticed how this club always seems to have not one, but two world-class forwards at any given time? It's like a cheat code or something, but think about it. Back in the day, we had Cantona and Hughes. Then came Cole and York, just casually ripping apart defences for fun. Fast forward to Rooney and Van Persie, absolute monsters in front of goal. And let's not forget the Tevez, Rooney, Ronaldo trio that made life miserable for defenders across Europe. This club has always had strikers who don't just score goals, they create moments. You know, those spine-tingling, jump-off-your-couch moments. And honestly, that's the standard here. If you're wearing the red shirt and leading the line, you've got to deliver, no excuses. But here's where it gets tricky. In recent years, United's striker situation hasn't exactly been vintage. Sure, we've had some decent names, but let's be real, they've struggled to find that one young forward who could grab the mantle and run with it. Until Rasmus Hojlund arrived. But you see, Hojlund is far from a developed player. He is still a young striker who has to develop his game as he plays. You see, when Erik ten Hag brought Hojlund to Old Trafford, it wasn't just some random gamble. This was a calculated move. Ten Hag saw something special in the kid. Raw talent, blistering pace, and the hunger you don't see every day. I mean, the guy was lighting it up at Atalanta. Sure, he wasn't exactly Haaland level, but there was enough to make you go, yeah, this guy could be the real deal. And guess what? Hojlund didn't waste time showing why he was worth the hype. In his first season in the Premier League, the dude scored over 15 goals. Let that sink in. First ever season, Premier League, over 15 goals. That's not just good, impressive, but here's the thing. While Hojlund's been solid, he's not quite the finished article. Don't get me wrong, he's got the makings of a top striker. But if we're talking about what Rúben Amorim needs to bring his system to life, Hojlund's good, but is he the guy? We're about to find out, my friend, because for Amorim, strikers aren't just about scoring goals. They're about fitting into a bigger, more demanding system. And that's where things get interesting. But before we get into that, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel. We have a goal to hit 1K subs this year. Thank you as you do so. Now back to the video. Now Amorim loves his 3-4-3 and 3-4-2-1 setups. Sounds complicated, let me break it down for you. His wing-backs are key. They're not just defenders, they're like turbocharged wingers who bomb forward, whip in dangerous crosses and stay high up the pitch. The wingers in his front three, they don't stick to the sidelines, they cut inside, get closer to the central striker and create overloads in the middle. And then there's the striker. In Amorim's world, the striker isn't just there to poach goals. He's the glue that holds everything together. Enter Viktor Gyökeres, the guy who made this system tick at Sporting. Gyokeres wasn't just about scoring, though with 66 goals and 19 assists in 68 games, he did plenty of that too. No, his real genius was in how he played. This guy had the pace to burn and loved running into wide channels, stretching defences and giving midfielders and wing-backs an outlet when they were under pressure. And his movement, unreal. He'd drop deep to link up to play, drift wide, to pull defenders out of position, and then cut back passes to his inverted wingers. Gyokeres wasn't just a striker, he was like a Swiss Army knife for Amorim's attack. Versatile, reliable, and always effective. When Sporting faced low blocks, which let's be honest was almost every week, Gyokeres was the key to unlocking defences. With wingers cutting inside and the wingbacks staying high and wide, Gyokeres would find pockets of space, dragging defenders around and creating chaos. It's no wonder Amorim's attack was so deadly with him leading the line. Now here's the kicker. Amorim's style isn't just about goals, it's about being unpredictable. Whether it's cutting through the middle or exploiting wide areas, his system thrives on flexibility. And that means his striker needs to do everything. Hold up play, press defenders, make clever runs, and of course finish when it matters. But the main question now is, can Hojlund be that striker for Amorim? Well, yes and no. You see, just like Viktor Gyökeres, Rasmus Hojlund is that kind of striker who's all about relentless energy and dynamism, but with their unique flavour. Let's break this down. Gyokeres is known for his physicality and direct runs. Hojlund offers something similar, but with a bit more finesse, especially when it comes to his dribbling. Think of him as a big guy who somehow moves like a winger. Electric feet, Ronaldo chop, the works. He's the kind of player who makes you sit up because you don't expect someone his size to be that nimble. When Hojlund's on the ball, he's got this uncanny ability to keep defenders guessing. He'll hold up play like Gyokeres, using his body smartly, but then roll his foot over the ball and create just enough space to keep the game flowing. And when he decides to take off down the channels, it's like watching Gareth Bale in his prime. One touch and boom, he's away. Gyokeres has that raw power in his stride, but Hojlund, he's got that extra layer of unpredictability, even if it sometimes leads to moments where you're thinking, why did he do that? Now finishing is where things get spicy. Hojlund thrives inside the box, much like Gyokeres, but he adds a little artistry to his game. Dinks, lobs, and those cheeky little flicks. He's got a bag of tricks that makes him stand out. However, his right foot, let's just say it's more of a sidekick than a main character. Viktor might keep it simple and powerful, but Hojlund is out there trying to paint masterpieces. Sometimes it works, and sometimes, well, it's more abstract art. And defensively, they both work like dogs. Gyokeres presses with intent, but Hojlund feels like a coach's dream because he'll chase lost causes and force errors purely out of sheer determination. But here's the kicker. Hojlund's aerial ability is still a work in progress. Gyokeres might edge him out in that department, but give it time, and Hojlund could turn into a real threat both on the ground and in the air. So yeah, if you're a fan of Gyokeres, Hojlund is like the turbocharged, slightly unpredictable version, an exciting mix of raw potential and flashes of brilliance. He's not perfect yet, but that's what makes him so intriguing to watch. But there is still belief that Amorim can turn him into a Viktor Gyökeres kind of striker. Here are 3 things that Amorim can do to change him to a world-class striker. The first step is to flip the script. I mean, at Sporting, Gyokeres is the guy. He's the one they look for, the one they serve, and the one they trust to finish the job. Hojlund? He's been treated more like a helper at United, a glorified decoy. Amorim needs to flip that script and make Hojlund the main character. When the team gets to the final third, every winger, every midfielder, heck, even the ball boy, should be looking for him. Also, Hojlund needs to change some of his movements. He needs to run smart and not hard. Gyokeres thrives because his runs are timed like clockwork. He's not wasting energy chasing the ball into midfield. Instead, he's hanging back, eyeing that big juicy gap behind the defenders. Hojlund has the pace, the power, and the IQ to do the same. Amorim just needs to tell him, chill, let the others do the dirty work. You're here to score. The inside forward will also play a game to help Hojlund develop. At Sporting, Gyokeres has inside forwards driving the ball forward like they're in a Fast and Furious movie. Their job? Create chaos, open space and slip Gyokeres into a one-on-one with the keeper. United's wingers, on the other hand, often cut in and take the glory themselves. This has to stop. Now, I am not saying they should not score when they have an opportunity, but Hojlund should be made their main man. Also, they need to focus more on crosses that count. At Sporting, the wingers and fullbacks don't just whip crosses in for fun. They aim for Gyokeres like he's a magnet. Hojlund, with his insane physicality and aerial dominance, is made for this kind of service. I mean, a perfect cross that led to a goal was his goal against Bayern. So, to the question you have been waiting for, can Hojlund become United Gyokeres? Well, yes, Hojlund has the physical profile and technical ability to fill that role. What's missing isn't talent, it's tactics. If United tweaks their system to prioritise him, we could see Hojlund go from a supporting role to leading man in no time. But hey, what do you think? Will Amorim's tactical magic work at United, or should he just go all out and buy Viktor Gyökeres next summer? Well, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to check out the video on Rúben Amorim.